St. John's at Seton Hall, and yes, this is Thursday action. Who do you like and why?
Well, RJ, I like Seton Hall, and the theme of this one's going to be the hunter becomes the hunted. And
Is that from Wall Street?
You know what? I could be. I don't know. I've heard it so, but it applies here. And what I'm talking about is the St. John's Redmond. These guys have been playing super, but they've been doing it as a dog, flying under the radar, upsetting people. They have won 6 in a row, 5 of them as underdogs. Thursday, they're going to be a favorite on the road, and I think this is a natural letdown spot for this team. If you look at what they're coming off of, they played Connecticut, Cincinnati, Marquette, Pitt, and Saturday they went on the road because everybody was saying that this team is good at home, but they went on the road, and much to my dismay, I had Villanova. They beat Villanova on the road. So now this team is as high as they could possibly be, public perception, flying high. Now they're going to be playing an inferior team in Seton Hall, and now they become a road favorite. And I think it's a recipe for disaster.
Okay, so I like one of the concepts here, which is you've got a team that has a home-road dichotomy, a split over the course of the entire year. They win one road game that's impressive, and on the heels of all the other victories, it comes off as, wow, this team can win home or road. When in truth, the sample size on the key road wins is very limited. So whatever negativity the public would have felt for St. John's being on the road may be assuaged by that one win. And again, we remember the public, the squares, overreact to what they see, and they overreact to short term. So that makes a ton of sense to me there. All right, so that's part of the mix. Now, before we get into the rest of where you see the value, what do you project this line, the bookies line, to come out at?
Okay, now, since this is a Thursday game, we don't have the actual lines yet. So I'm projecting that St. John's is going to come out a 2.5-point favorite in this game. Seton Hall, at home, although they have not been winning, they have played very competitive. They've played Syracuse to 5-point loss. They played Georgetown to a 5-point loss, Connecticut to a 2-point loss, and Villanova to a 3-point loss. So this team can play competitively at home. And if I'm correct in that St. John's is going to have a little bit of a letdown after the Villanova game, and Seton Hall, live home underdog here, I'm going to go ahead and call for the outright upset with Seton Hall and take this game.
Give us your official projection.
I've got Seton Hall winning 65-61. And as long as Seton Hall is any kind of dog,
so give us your rank. So you want points.
As long as they're, because the whole thing is the mentality.
What happens if they're getting a dozen?
We'll take them.
Yeah.
I'll take it this time. But the situation is, it's almost the mindset, RJ. And this is maybe a talk for another time. But there's a different mindset when you're an underdog and when you're a favorite. Because when you're an underdog, you have something to prove. So Vegas is telling you you're not the better team. When you are the favorite, now all of a sudden, you're the big man on campus. You're supposed to win. And the fact
that you say this effect, I think you're right, but its effect is much muted when it's a Big East game on a Thursday as opposed to the national championship game in the BCS. How much of a factor do you really think Seton Hall is saying, we don't got to focus too much because, we're 2.5-point favorites. You saw Danny Sheridan, right?
But it's the mindset from, you mean St. John's, but it's the mindset from St. John's that they won all those games as an underdog. And the last one being so impressive.
I can see that. Now, but let's talk about this, though, is oftentimes the public's reaction to a game, a string of games, is correct. It's just too extreme. So clearly St. John's is better today than you thought they were 5 or 6 games ago, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
So you're saying you accept the fact that this performance has been impressive and that you've adjusted your power ranking. You're just thinking there's an overreaction to how good they really are.
At this point in time, yes.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
No, we got to get your blessing. And actually, you forgot
exactly.
You were so concerned about my eating habits.
I'm worried. Listen, I have a long-term horizon with pregame. We don't want to have like the Memorial Marco show or anything. All right. So
in the last
The
video.
BYU New Mexico, I'm going neutral. Let's just keep it at that.
Okay.
I don't like to play marquee teams at home laying double digits. Just a funny thing. Now, you're like the guy that can raise with 7 deuce and make it work, though. You know, there's certain geniuses. I'm not that when it comes to handicapping. Okay. I'm going to go neutral on this. 3 straight neutrals.
Wow.
I just think sometimes I think sometimes no, because a lot of people out there are like, well, I'm not touching these games now.
Okay, I'm sure that's what they're saying.
And the reason being is simple. Sometimes, and you saw this with the Patriots in 2007. Sometimes the team's playing so well that the lines maker can't catch up. Yeah, there is a tendency to overreact, but the number was so far off the power ranking initially that they don't want to move too quickly, and it just seems like you can only get lucky so many times. I'm not sure if his St. John's team just isn't significantly better than we thought, and thus the line is not out of whack at this point.
You know, one final point on it. Not that there was really a question, but it absolutely locked it up. St. John's sealed their ticket to the big dance with their win against Villanova on Saturday on the road. So that's another little mental letdown too.
I hear you. It's your turn to continue the conversation in the comment section with Marco and me. And that's it. 3 videos this week, and we'll be back later in the week with more videos from Marco. And we've got VR scheduled to be coming in on Thursday. Talk to you then.